Okay, Armory deck Kayo, right? So again, a glimpse at a bunch of different stuff, which is awesome because we just took a look at Mystic cards. Now we get a first little look-see at the Armory deck and what it entails, what new stuff they possibly might bring, its price point, and there are a few different things to, think about and consider. So for instance, the longevity of this, right? It's only as useful as long as Bruce is in the meta. More so, its primary function is only useful as long as this version of Kayo is in the meta, right? If Kayo LLs, then for a lot of new players, there's no point in picking up the deck. While it might have useful tools or cards or anything you want from it, it in its entirety might not be worth it because, again, you can sort of put it down to a ratio, right? Is it better to buy this for all the cards you want, or will it be better to have someone break it down and you just cherry pick the cards you want, which really comes down to the entire list, right? How many copies are they giving you proper full play sets of stuff you want full play sets of, and how much of it is new cards, how much of it is impactful cards. But yeah, Armory deck Kayo, the laws of the Savage Lands are simple. Strength rules all, and with the Armory deck, you'll soon be ruling Armory events near you. A new series of ready-to-play decks supporting ease of access to Class Constructed, the most popular Flesh and Blood format in the world, easily. The new decks include new card design in addition to many of the foundational cards used in tournament-winning decks of the featured hero, as an ideal way to pick up and play weekly Armory events running at your local game store. Okay, so obviously, with that sentence, right, again, if Kayo LLs, the deck is redundant, so I would be curious how LSS are handling the printing or the thought process towards that, because he's low at the moment, right? He's 200 points, but at the same time, if you put in that rationale, he accrued 200 points, which makes him almost it's the third top hero, right? Dromai, who will LL and then basically be split off, maybe shifted into the new Illusionist Prism, or you have people who just want to play the most meta relevant deck, in which case then it'll fall to, Kasai from the looks of it, and Kayo. So interesting to see how many points continue to accrue, but yeah, are we thinking like a year, 6 months? It could be very interesting and make the product somewhat redundant. But we also have this, includes new card design in addition to many of the foundational cards used in the tournament winning decks. Well, straight away, what this screams to me is they need cards that replace the L's, right? They don't want to put the L's in the deck because then it would be, it'd tank prices or it'd be way too desirable. But at the same time, they want it to be competitive. Maybe not as competitive, maybe more. I don't know. We'll see, right? So that would be the main new card design to me, right? Replacing those types of cards, the expensive cards. But then, in a sense, you'd still bring down their price because they're no longer desired if these are, again, viable options. And then also these will be more expensive, or I should say, absorb the majority of the value of this product. All right. So we have the sales page. I'm guessing it's the marketing assets as images, products, sheets. Okay. So release date, May 3rd, same little blurb. There we go. New cards. So we have a Savage Sash, which is destroy this, attack action cards with 6 or more cost you 1 less to play this turn. And there we go. Tunic replacement. Go again. Has temper, has 2 block. Significantly better Tunic replacement, right? And it's majestic. So straight away, what does this mean though? It's going to be broken up. It's going to be sold because there'll be Rhino players, there'll be KO players who want this. So buying it in its entirety, maybe, more likely, a lot of people are going to break this up and just singles are going to hit the market, which means that, it's already going to have an attractive value to it, which is great, right? It's equipment though, so it's not sort of like, is it glistening Steel Blade from the Dorinthia deck? And then we also have something roughshod. I'm going to assume someone has gone the full art, so let me look for it. There we go. Riddler Man's Discord Mind Mead coming in clutch, right? So if you don't know about it, might as well plug it. Wonderful community, right? Check out Riddler Man's channel, check out his Discord. Great place just to hang out and talk about Fab. So run the roughshod. Play this only if you've discarded a card with 6 or more this turn. So not too hard to activate, doesn't have go again, but it's 1 for 5. Comes in different colors, that could be insane. It works in KO in terms of the discard mechanism, right? Being on that 5 points. Definitely not as exciting as Savage Sash, but I can see its use, right? Savage Sash is still just the broken thing. So we know the decks are limited print runs, right? And we've got some insights from Reddit. So I hate saying this in a precon. It's great that it'll provide a good and strong option as a chess piece, but I'm very worried that the precons will be the only way to get it, which has been very frustrating with other cards like Civic Steps because they become best in slot. But Civic Steps is also easily replaceable. This is significantly different though. And they've already specifically stated that these precons will be limited print run, which again makes sense if they're targeting LL heroes. There's no point in having a very long print run because then the deck will be redundant and less people will want it and LSS will end up eating their profits. I really hope we can get this as an Armory promo or an expansion slot. That I would definitely fully expect. I would definitely expect an Armory promo, right? And well, we know from the product sheet, I'm pretty sure it doesn't say. Yeah, so 60 card deck plus hero weapons and equipment. I doubt they put gold foils in there. I doubt they put rainbow foils in there. So you could almost have three, maybe three. Two definitely, but three versions of the Fabtcg command. Given its power level, given its effect, I would, yeah, fully expect promos. So a rainbow foil, cold foil, and then maybe even extended art. Maybe, right? Well, gold foil would be the big thing too. Again, if this sees a ton of playing in Brute, which it will, it is clearly a significantly better tunic at potentially a cheaper cost, right? So yeah, I would fully expect promos. 100% agree, and to make matters worse, the more must-have cards they print uniquely in precons, the more we're forced to gut the precons. Yeah, so that's also the big issue for me, right? So many products in Flesh and Blood end up just being torn to shreds because the ratio of what you want to what you need to what is just filler is not good, right? Because again, they have to do things methodically because of the Living Legend system. It's another downside of the Living Legend system. You have cards that are specifically good in this Kayo deck, and you have cards that are specifically good in Brutes, and cards that overlap, right? And the cards that are in Brutes and the overlap will be the more desirable cards because, again, Kayo rotates out. Brute will always be a thing, and it's clear that their design for Brute will be this discard mechanic, so all those cards will always be a thing. But Kayo's exact mechanism of wanting 5 cards, like 5 attack cards, will disappear, and all those will drop down because they don't work in a normal Brute. So, but I need this in my CC list more, yeah. The big thing will be definitely if they have proper playsets of cards. If they don't have proper playsets of cards, then it's going to feel even worse because they will just be gutted because you will have people who don't want to buy 2 or possibly 3 if you get singles, right? And we'll just wait for people to bulk buy, split them all up, and pay whatever the premium is for the specific cards. Well, it's one way to make it so you don't feel like you're lacking a tunic. Yep. So 1 for 6 a 0 cost that turn. That seems really good with Slithering Shadowpede and I don't know Brute cards that well. But yeah, so it is a super powerful burst effect. You get way more use out of it than Tunic, right? Again, destroy this attack action cards with 6 or more, cost 1 display. You're most likely playing 6 or more, and has go again, and also temper. So again, while you're waiting for your big pop-off turn, you still get the added advantage of block, right? That's always been the big balancing act of Tunic. To use it to block means to sacrifice all the resource generation. This has tempo, it's just complete power creep to me, right? I know it's a singular use, but again, it also speaks to why Berserk was removed, right? This plus Berserk is a way too strong on the board combo, right? You just have to look for 1 card in your deck, you have Savage Sash to activate straight away, and you can almost loop infinitely. Yeah. Exciting to see. Again, just those save turns, although we didn't really talk about price point. So a $60 deck. For a 60 card deck, again, we'll need the entire deck list to break down whether or not that's worthwhile. Again, sorry, I keep saying that again. The big thing is, right, imagine this. The rest of the deck is just, it's okay, but it's not fantastic. If you want to just run it as a deck, it's fine, but you'd still probably build from scratch with other cards, just cherry pick Savage Sash, right? I mean, Savage Sash will be close to a $40, $60 card, right? That is the worry. And again, for every Kayo deck, you have potentially 2 players. 3, actually. Levia, Kayo, and Rhino. Granted, a lot of, obviously, people overlap decks, and if you play Brute, you generally play Brute. But yeah, that'll be the issue, and then you have the whole other portion of the community. So, oh god, just the way they think about sizes has me so intrigued because there's just so many factors for them to consider. Again, the living legend aspect, how long is this deck going to last? They'll definitely have to help define the ratio of, well, not ratio, the volume they print. Then also, again, you have how much of this deck is wanted in Levy, how much of this deck is wanted in Rhino, how much of this deck will just be good for the foreseeable future. Yeah, very interesting. Then it's a good card to see, right? Again, as long as there's alternatives, that's keeping the game moving, but it will always come at a cost. Hope you enjoy. Yeah.